Okay, question 1. What are the x-intercepts? X-intercepts for the graph below. So this is your x-axis. The question's asking where does the graph cross the x-axis? So you can see it crosses at 2 and it also crosses at -4. So our answer is 2 and -4. Okay, question 2. What is the y-intercept of the graph from question 1? This is question 1 right here. So this is your y-axis. It's asking where does it cross the y-axis? And so if you look right there, it crosses at -8, D. Question 3, what is the slope? Now, if you remember, slope is rise. So you go either up or down, and then you always run to the right. So let's look at our 2 points here. We have this point here. So how do I get from this point to the other point? Well, if I start here, I have to rise up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my top number. And then we always run to the right. So how many times do we run to the right? 1, 2, 3. And so our slope is 4/3, B. Question 4, what is the parent function of the graph from question 3? So if I go back, this was question 3. So what was the parent function? There were 3 parents that we had. We had a linear, we had a quadratic, and then we had an exponential. And if you remember, the linear parent function is 1 to 1 for the x and the y. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And so remember, we're looking for the parent, or what mother does this guy look like? This guy looks like the linear. So let's go back to our question. What is the parent function of the graph from question 3? So that is a linear. So here we go, we're on question 5. What is the parent function of the graph from question 1? So if you go back to question 1, so I'm going to flip back to question 1. We're going to go all the way back up to the top. And so remember the 3 parent functions. We had linear. Well, we know it's not a linear because linear is a straight line. And if you remember doing your little foldable activity, our quadratic parent function looked like this. And so does question 1 here look like this parent? Yes. So let's go back to our question. What is the parent function from question 1? It's not linear, it's quadratic. And remember, exponential, the exponential graph looked like this. The quadratic, it looked like shoo. And then Janie, no. So we know it's A. What's another name, question 6, what's another name for a 0? If you remember, a fancy way of saying 0 is just simply calling it an x-intercept. So that's just a vocab, A. So a 0 is an x-intercept. And then let's look at our last question here. There are 3 locations marked on the exponential graph below, A, B, and C. Where is the asymptote? Remember, the asymptote is that imaginary line that's holding the graph, or where the graph seems to be sitting. Well, we know it's not B, because if you go back to some of our previous questions, B is the y-intercept. So we know it's not B. C, that's your x-intercept. And so through a process of elimination, we know it's A. Or you might get confused and say there is no asymptote, but again, we said that that's the imaginary line that the graph seems to be sitting on. So what location is that? It is location A.